What's up, guys? I hope you all enjoyed some Gamer Gland. I'm so excited for this Echoes of Wisdom run. They are getting the last bits and bobs and whatever else set up on their end. So I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me now that I am actually working on the commentary here in the intermission screen. I've had a great time with you guys today. Pretty good, solid amount of donations coming in during my block. Gave me something to read. I always enjoy that. This was actually my last hosting shift. Soon I'm going to leave you in the... Well, I'll let it be a surprise for a minute as to who's hosting next. But I will be back tomorrow for the Mario 64 and Mario Galaxy runs. That'll be fun. I'm really looking forward to those. Especially 64 with my good friend Amahu Mahaba. And I just heard a little noise in my ear. Who could it be joining me in the booth here?
Hey, how's it going?
The fake out. That was so good. All right, CJ, you take it away. I'm going to go enjoy this run. I hope you have a good time.
Hey, Quill, thank you so much for hosting. It has been awesome. What a great first day of SDAT, everybody. Oh, is there something I usually say? Is there something I usually do? There's a bit. Oh, that's right. Finally, CJ has come back to SDAT. Hello, everybody. I didn't want to blow his ears out. Hello, everybody. Welcome to SDAT 2025. I am your host with the most, CJitsallGewd, coming at you live through the power of live streaming technology to bring you another charity marathon. My friends, it is a very productive day one. We are sitting at $905, but I believe in us. I think we can get over that really quick. I believe that we can get over that hump, and with me at the helm for the remainder of the day, I know that we will get there. Coming up next, and with a short intermission, I might add, we have The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, to complete our Zelda double header. After that, we have Rift of the Necrodancer by Illegally Sam. In the SBAD adjacent block, we have Kingfisher Games playing World of Warcraft Shipping and Handling. That's where you play World of Warcraft, but it's a kart racer. And then in SBAD, the block that nobody asked for and everybody wants to see, we have Disney Extremely Goofy Skateboarding by Viz. And then we have Enter the Matrix by Sarah Venza. All friends of the show, it is going to be a cozy evening. Go get your snacks, get your drink, get your coffee. I won't say the end because we're trying to keep it family friendly. Coming up next, we do have Echoes of Wisdom, All Dungeons by Glubbers. And to get us back on track, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause. We're going to pay the bills, keep our lights on. We're going to hear from our friends. We're going to hear from Save the Children. And when we come back, we'll be live with The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, All Dungeons. I'm promised that there are lots of beds and a friend named Larry along the way. Don't go touching that dial. We'll be right back.
Fast-Paced Events is back. FPE is an indie events team with mental health and LGBTQ safety at our core. Whether it's the advocacy groups that we've raised thousands of dollars for, or the welcoming staff team that we foster, FPE is all about the people. Our next event is coming up this fall. Fast Pace for Pride is going on from November 28th to the 30th, and we'll be raising money for global action for trans equality. And if you'd like to be a runner or an event volunteer, application information will be posted in our Discord as we get closer to the event. So go to fastpacedevents.com to find our Discord invite link and all things FPE. Huge shoutouts to our friends at Speed Docs for giving us this time, and thanks for watching Speed Docs-a-thon.
We want to register.
How do you feel?
All right, everyone. We are here. We are ready for... I am so off my game, and I am so sorry. I usually look at the screen. I'm still looking at the charity ad. I'm like, I'm only supposed to be 2 seconds behind. This is whole thing. I'm a failure of a host and a producer, but that's okay, because you know who's not a failure of a host and producer? It is Glubbers. Glubbers, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I love the assumption on my producing skills. Thank you. How are you doing today?
Oh, I am living the dream. I am better than yesterday and not as good as tomorrow. And joining us is your fantastic commentator. Commentator, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Meth. I'm going to be doing comms with Glubbers. Glubbers, you're running all dungeons in Echoes of Wisdom.
Yep, I will be running Echoes of Wisdom. All dungeons. This is technically all dungeons unrestricted, which means that we are allowed to enter the dungeon from anywhere the game puts us, just as a little bit of an allusion to the kind of glitchiness that we'll be doing. Yeah, Myth is one of the better runners of this game, just like myself. We have a very small community. We have like 5 people. I invite one of the 5 people whenever I do a showcase. We all invite each other when we do showcases. I haven't actually done this with Myth before, so this is an experience. Normally I do this with Glan, who just got done running A Link to the Past. But
So this is all new for us.
yes, this is all new.
All
We're going
right.
to do fantastic, though, because I feel like we all can put on an amazing showcase where, no, I am not going to be a cat girl, Glan. I saw that.
Ooh.
But yeah, we'll get it right underway if we're all ready. So-
Fun fact, we did have an incentive
We did.
for Zelda's costume.
Mhm.
We had the options were the black cat suit, the red Link suit, and the blue dress. And the blue dress won $29 versus $10. You cat lovers just weren't here earlier. You didn't show out like the blue dress stands. So there you go.
All right, so we'll be doing the blue dress, which means I gotta grab Zelda. We'll use that in a little while. But we'll get that underway when we're able to. That'll be a little bit further into the run after the game actually lets us swap around our costume. So yeah, without further ado, let's get the run started. We'll be going in 3, 2, 1, go. And so, unfortunately, this is the game. Well, fortunately, The game starts out with a little bit of time for us to talk about the run. This first little tutorial section is going to be played as Link, where the majority of the game is played as Zelda. But first we get to watch this little cutscene of these 3 Dark Nuts who are just friendly with one another. I don't really know, they're kind of just hanging out, and then Link is going to actually mess up their day, because he's kind of rude. And you'll see that thematically. Right?
Oh, yeah, like, we get to be a little menace with him right at the start, but then we're playing a Zelda this game. Link is an NPC, and he is going to come into play later on.
Yep, and he is never our friend. So, that little... You know, he didn't have to do that to those Dark Nuts, right? That just shows you the kind of person that this Link is. Unfortunately, he is a rude dude, as the 2013 high schoolers would say. So
it's funny that in like the end of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, people get annoyed at like Zelda not like behaving herself when like trying to do the final boss fights, and Link just returns the favor in this one.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the fun things that I like about a lot of Zelda games, is that end fights are always either the most trivial thing that you've ever seen, or there's some absolutely crazy stuff where you can easily mess up and lose a lot of time, and this one,
yeah,
I'm proud to report, is the latter.
Yeah. And
sometimes it's not my fault.
Yeah, no, this one is right up there with, like, I run Minish Caps, so Vati is also just a horrible boss fight at the end of the game. And everyone who was running this, who'd been, like, playing, like, OOT or whatever, and you have, like, Ganon, and a lot of the games with the extremely trivial bosses, it's like, they would, like, why is this boss so bad?
Yeah, I luckily have...
In the meantime, Ganon.
Yeah, in the meantime, we're fighting Ganon.
Is this the end of the game?
Yeah. Game's over. GG.
GG's.
Damn. All right, we need to change the estimate. Oh God.
All right, who's up next?
Yeah, who's running next?
Yeah, coming up next. I hope Illegally Sam is ready. Rift of the Necrodancer.
Yo.
Yeah.
Wait.
Also,
that's sick.
He's also very jowly.
Who, Ganon or Sam?
Well, no, not Sam. Wow, damn! Sam's catching strays. There's.
I've had 2 conversations with him. It's fine. We're basically best friends.
There you go. Oh.
Yeah, so what we're actually doing here is we're kind of setting the pace for the whole game. This is the transition from playing as Link into playing as Zelda. And effectively, this is a lot of storytelling that's going on. So that was a little intro where we played as Link doing the typical Link goes and saves Zelda from the jowly Ganon. And as it turned out, that Ganon wasn't the real Ganon. He was a void form, null form, I don't really know what to call it.
I think this was the real one. I think we're gonna fight the Echo later.
Is that really how you interpret that?
Because he doesn't turn like
he doesn't turn
purple. At the end of the one that we do in like at the middle of the run, that one's gonna turn like all purple and stuff, because that one's the Echo.
We've got some dissenting opinions here. Okay, so my interpretation was always that he was laughing, and that was kind of alluding to how it was, you know, something else was afoot, not Ganon, and he gets sucked down in. But that is a really good point. We will be seeing him again, like Myth just said. Actually, after we beat Ganon the next time is when I'll be able to put on that the pink dress, the blue dress.
Yeah.
So
for all you Sleeping Beauty fans, you'll have the ability to make it blue or make it pink. I did want to just say we had a $35 donation from Jowly Ganon.
Ooh.
So thank you for that. And that went towards the Max Goof cosplay. So if you would like to see Max Goof play Disney's extremely goofy skateboarding, the world could be your oyster. We are only a little bit away from that.
Look, who doesn't want to be on the side of Jowly Ganon? Like, he's out here supporting the children, he's raising money for a good cause, or supporting a good cause, I should say, and he's, you know, getting out there trying to provide you all with the maximum entertainment possible, the maximum goof possible.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And as we just discussed, that's not actually Ganon, right? Apparently, so he didn't do all the war crimes, or it might be.
I'm now really unsure because he raises a really good point.
Myth almost got Glubber's almost got Ganon off. He almost got him like acquitted of the charges. Then Myth came in and was like, "Nah, man, I
present new evidence."
the glove didn't fit.
Oh, yeah,
here is
we're
a picture of
actually running
Chewbacca.
Ace Attorney now.
Objection.
Oh, so yeah. You know, one thing that I've loved about this game, and I was alluding to it a little bit with talking about all of the different boss fights in the different games, and Myth almost outright said it, but not quite, with different runners coming from, like, OOT or something. One thing that's actually really great about the Echoes of Wisdom community is that it's largely comprised of runners of different Zelda games, which is fantastic in a few ways, because, you know, we've seen our own brand of ridiculous stuff before. We've seen it all, we've seen a lot of different stuff, and we get to put our heads together, so it's kind of this bridging of communities. One, we get to meet new people, make new friends, all that sort of thing, and yeah, that's absolutely great, but it also just lets us bridge that gap. I myself run a ton of Zelda games, as you guys are probably aware. I will also be running this game on Sunday, The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, which is a very different game from this one. This one looks like Legos. This one looks like a 13-year-old's dream. So we're gonna have some fun with that, and that's gonna be great. But
yeah, I love the melting pot in our community. Like, it's so great getting to like see everyone come from the different games, and yeah, just have like different approaches and mentalities with the like knowing where they came from and like what works in their games and trying to apply it. This is such a flexible game as well. Like the world is so open, and we can kind of reroute and do things completely differently. So this category has changed quite a bit from like when it first like got introduced. Everyone was just trying different things all the time.
yeah, and it's awesome to just see, because a lot of the changes that happen very rapidly with this game, just because it ends up being something that someone or a few people have kind of seen something similar to before. So it ends up being, how do we do this? Oh, well, actually, we do something similar to this in Skyward Sword, for example. I don't know if we have a Skyward Sword runner. Myth, do we have a Skyward Sword runner?
Yeah, well, this is what happened with Jim. Like, Jim discovered a menu stacking glitch, and they were like, wait, we do menu stacking in Skyward Sword. Why don't we just do this? And then it did a wrong warp, and he was like, oh, I discovered wrong warps.
Yeah, that was exactly what happened. Oh, I love that.
That's so casual.
It's even the actual, like, I wish that I could just pull this up on the side, but it would probably take too long to find. The actual statement that he made was way more casual. He literally posted to social media, hey, I was messing with glitchy stuff, and then there was this clip of just a wrong warp in the game 3 days after it came out. And everyone was like, what? So thank you to Jim. Jim's great. We love Jim. Speaking of the Skyward Sword runner, that's Jim. He doesn't really run the game anymore, but that's Jim. He counts.
Shout out to Jim.
Yeah. You know Zelda games, you know who Jim is. Meanwhile, we have this fun intermission of 11 seconds of literally nothing. I am doing nothing. A cutscene will start again. There's the cutscene.
Spinny.
We spin while we jump. Yeah, so That is another thing about this game, is we have this relatively extended intro sequence where we've kind of just been... Okay, I was going to say where we've kind of just been joking this entire time instead of really showing off the game, but let's be totally real. The next hour and a half is still going to be joking the entire time. There's just going to be more gameplay.
It helps that this game's so goofy.
It really is. There's try. Is try a lemon or an onion? I don't know. It has Doritos following it, and the shadow underneath the Doritos is a circle. This game's fantastic.
I'm almost here. Like, every time I feel like I'm on the same page with y'all go one step further. What about the Doritos? What happened?
Look at the Doritos that are floating behind.
Yeah. And here's Try giving us his rod. That is definitely not... Nope. This is the Try rod. And this is going to be what lets us actually do the main mechanic of the game. Let's talk about the game for a second.
Yeah, so the fire rod lets you copy and paste... Sorry, the echo rod lets you copy and paste objects.
Yeah. This is the fire rod from The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap. It's slightly different colored because it's not on fire. That's why they call it the fire rod, right?
But
it's because it's lit.
That's all I know about Minish Cap, I'm sorry.
There is not actually an item called the fire rod in Minish Cap. It is a dev item that is hacked back in.
Love that.
Yeah, you want to talk about The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap? We can do this entire Echoes of Wisdom run talking about different Zelda games.
I made a video about the Minish Cap. You can check it out at youtube.com/c/speeddogs. Hi-oh.
Hey, it's a cool game.
2 videos. They're very good.
Oh, thank you. Shout out to Quo. He was instrumental, some would say, in helping put those together.
So Globbers is doing the guard strat here. We've got nice, cool speed strats there. Place down 2 table. I'm already talking about beds, and we haven't even got one yet. 2 tables down to just like distract the guards enough to be able to run through there without stopping.
Yeah, so that itself is like one of the more notable minor tech that we'll see every now and then, basically, when I use beds, basically, for the rest of the game, but here tables. They're what would be defined as half a tile in vertical height. So what you can do is, while you're going along, the game actually divvies the ground up into tiles for the sake of placing the echoes down. And if I were to pass from one tile onto the next, quote-unquote, they're not really tiles, and jump as I'm doing that, you can both set down the echo and then immediately land on it. It's just a little minor thing that lets you skip around, get a little bit of extra height, saves maybe a little less than a second in most places, but during the guards, it actually enables us to, like, get out of the guard's vision, so we can just effectively beeline it, like I just did, and get past all of them in kind of a goofy way. If you were paying enough attention, you would have noticed that when I set down a table and jumped on it, the guards followed me and then got confused a little bit. That's because it's when you get up on a table, when you jump on a table like that, you know the feeling when you go and look in your fridge and you're like, what did I come in here for? And then you close the fridge. That's what they did.
Are you describing Alzheimer's? What are you...
I
When you jump up on your table, and then that feeling when you go to your fridge, I'm so lost. I'm with you. I'm trying so hard. Okay, I'm locking in. I'm locked in.
All right, CJ. What do you think the next thing is?
I did play this game a little bit. We went to when I left the castle. I think I made a left at Albuquerque.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, Zelda, I'm not your dad.
You know, you're pretty close there. We were actually going to collect the bed, but Albuquerque's pretty close.
All right. Hey, okay. So now we have the bed, which is obviously the most important item. Did you mention that you're in German? Is this German?
I did not mention that I'm playing in German. Yeah, we're playing in German. Hey, Myth, why are we playing in German as the one who did all of the language typing?
Because it's fast. Yes. Yes, it's faster because of a single text box every time we activate one of the warp points around the world. They're normally 2 text boxes, but in German it is 1.
Yep. That is literally the only reason that German's faster. Basically every language is fine, but in this case we play in German because of exactly like we were talking about earlier, there are runners of a bunch of different Zelda games. That is identical to how things work for Link's Awakening Switch. Shoutouts to the Link's Awakening Switch runners. There's a lot of them. Out of the, 7 people in the community, 3 of them have run Link's Awakening Switch. Good job, guys!
Yeah, current any percent unrestricted world record holder Ruben runs Link's Awakening Switch. We're all together here in Echoes.
Yeah, we're I was going to try to compare us to the Goonies or something. That doesn't really work.
We're
Never
like
died.
Smash Ultimate.
Yeah,
Everyone's
Smash
here.
Ultimate. Everyone's here. I would. It's definitely similar but different. There's something that I say about the Wind Waker SD, the GameCube speedrunning community for Wind Waker, because they're a similar size. But the way that they interact, I kind of just go, oh, you guys are they're like a family around a dinner table, right? That's really the only analog that I have for them. Echoes of Wisdom is not like that at all. It's basically every now and then we all check in on what's going on, and someone will come back to the game at different points. Speaking of Wind Waker, Joash is one of the phenomenal Echoes runners too, and he's an HD runner for that game. Love that man. I've known him for a number of years. And he is a very cool bean. So just another
I'm
example.
looking forward to doing comms with them tomorrow.
Ooh, fun. Here is our actual most important item, by the way, CJ. The sign.
There's a sign?
Yeah, I just got it.
the
Do you want me to
sign.
go back over to it? See, it's right there. Probably wants me to go back over there. Sorry. I was gonna go read the sign for you, but probably won't let me.
Oh, damn. Question from the chat: was Link's Awakening Switch and Echoes made by the same people?
It's Grezzo.
Yep. We can do you one better. It was made by the same people. Yes, it was, to answer in short. It was also made by the people that made Triforce Heroes, who, I'm surprised, got to make another Zelda game.
I played
not a
that
good game.
game for money once, and I regret playing it.
I also regret playing it.
I do believe that they started by making OOT 3D.
They did, yeah.
And MM 3D, yeah.
Which they did a
Yeah.
fantastic job with.
It was really odd at the beginning of the game because it was like, hey, we have this run warp at the beginning of the game, and everyone's played Grezzo games before and they never get patched. And then 2 weeks after the game came out, an update came out that fixed the run warp glitch and patched it.
Yeah, so we were all upset and up in arms about what we were supposed to do with our game now, and we kind of just decided we liked running on 1.0 anyways. So we'll do
Now-
that.
I know Switch running has difficulty with down patching.
Yes.
vis-a-vis, I am told it's not really a thing.
So
how do you all play on the original
We
version?
didn't update.
yeah, very
Okay.
simply put, we didn't update. The actual answer that works very well for someone that's, wanting to get into it or whatever, is that Switch cartridges are always shipped as the 1.0. You just then download the update data, right? So if you just want to play 1.0 Echoes of Wisdom, you can just go buy a cartridge and turn off your auto updates and launch the game. And boom.
Y'all
That is
are
it.
like those people that like hung out on like the last Halo 2 server for like 2 years after they shut the original Halo 2 servers down. They were just like the 6 guys in a lobby. It's like you're just
Yeah.
like the 10 people playing the 1.0 version. I'm here for it, by the way. I respect the grind.
It
We
would
got
be
a great strat here.
Oh yeah, wife jump. This is wife. We jump. So, fun fact about wife jump. What was that?
I said this is amazing. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're fine. So, fun fact about wife jump. We just did a little bit of obvious bed stacking on top of the wife there to jump over and skip a little cave section. It's fine. But the thing that is interesting is that, so in the actual, like, game's memory, she is known internally as wife. It's a reference that comes from how, if you remember the cutscene that was playing while we were joking about I don't even know what at this point, when the king was still the king and didn't get sucked up into the crush grape juice soda, whatever, it would have shown her falling into the, void there, and that is her on the inside. Now, the only actual reference where she is used is her husband, who we could have gone over and seen, but we didn't. Oh, I'm also... Hold on. Hold on.
This guy's one hit from death. He
is. I need you to go over here.
No, beds are so extremely versatile. You use them for everything in this run. It's things to stack on and climb up on, but we also use them as a weapon. Nice.
Nice.
Oh!
Hey now!
What?
This is not supposed to happen.
I've never seen this before. What the heck? What is going on? These guys normally
Yeah, so you guys have that, yeah, that's never happened before, right?
All right. So what was supposed to happen?
You were supposed to despawn, but you were just stuck in that animation for ages.
Yeah, so normally what would just happen there is, like, the sea urchins despawn because they register that Zelda's stuck in her, or stuck in them. That's it. That's all that was supposed to happen. Neat.
I'm so glad that happened. Wow. Oh.
Huh.
Also, beds, we can sleep in them.
Oh, yeah. We can sleep in them, and what we can do with that is we can regain some hearts. And now I'm at full health. That's the one real use of the beds here. Definitely not the, like, making towers that I've done.
Yeah. Like, there's so much, cool tech that we do here with, positioning the echo spawns to, quickly solve these puzzles and everything. But, just sleep in a bed like every casual to full heal and health.
Yeah. The one thing that we do that casuals probably don't do is, did you guys know, obviously you want to go and rest in a bed to heal up, and that's kind of the analog they're making there is, as you rest up, you feel healthier, right? People say you should rest up when you're sick, all of that sort of thing. Did you know that the actual optimal way to feel better when you're sick is to go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up, go to sleep, wake up? Because that's what Echoes of Wisdom teaches you. You can, it's a little bit faster to get out of the bed as quickly as as soon as you see that you regained some health, and immediately get back in it. So for all of you out there that may or may not have issues sleeping when you're sick, that's your body being optimal.
Is that not what you're supposed to do?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
So we just had a quick kill on Link with our good boy here, Igna Chad, Ignazol's extremely unique as being the only Echo that is more powerful than its standard enemy version in the game. Every other Echo is gonna just be a carbon copy clone, but our Ignazol that we spawn is twice as powerful as the regular ones.
Which makes it, in conjunction with just the fact that the Ignazol is such a low-cost Echo, it's one of the higher DPS outputs if you just use them all.
Yeah, like it's both the straight up physical damage that it does from its attack impacts is higher, but also that it just sets enemies on fire, and enemies take really rapid fire damage when they're on fire. So Link gets absolutely owned, or at least the Echo Link does.
Yeah, which is, we're also going to see that here in a second, because as you'll see, I'm going to take the one little Ignichad, and you see this Baba here. I'm going to play a little bit of Pokemon. Fire is super effective. You know that yoinking plants out is just weeding and is also super effective against grass-type Pokemon? I don't think I've ever seen that before, but the actual, Echo... Did you see that get yote into the pen with the other one?
Oh!
Yeah.
Oh!
It, flew.
Oh, it went flying! Yeah, and it landed in the other area.
That was cool. I've never seen it do that.
It didn't... Yeah, I've never seen it go that far. Like, the Deku Baba head, when it got pulled off, that was nuts.
Yeah, it'll normally,
Yeah.
be near you, but it won't lose its, or it will lose its momentum and just fall, but that one just kept going.
So this is one of the trickier part of, I think this is definitely the hardest part of the dungeon, this room. Stratty McStratface is coming up here.
That's my name.
Stratty McStratface?
Yeah, this is Stratty McStratface. This is the hardest trick in the dungeon, and one of the harder ones in the game, arguably.
Nice. First try, let's go.
Please.
Absolute hardcore parkour.
Please.
Can you... Oh,
Please.
Press R? Hold up.
Interesting.
Wait, did... Huh?
Whatever. I don't know
Why
what
wasn't
just
it not
happened.
moving? Oh, okay. Also, beds, they solve puzzles.
Yeah, okay, this one's actually great, because the green statue is supposed to go on the green switch, as we learned in this room, right? That switch wasn't made into a green switch, it's just a switch. So we can put anything we want on it, including a bed.
That's pretty funny.
Also, here's the boss of the dungeon.
Yeah, it's going to be a real quick one. It's just a 3-cycle fight that we do some quick spins with to do nice and quick. And yeah, just count the slashes and then time a quick spin to get damage in to end the phases as quickly as possible. Here's the final one. This is a little bit RNG. Glover's got good RNG here. It can decide to spin attack instead, but doing its slam attack is exactly what we want to see. And
the fight's
GG's.
over. That was the first dungeon. That took us about half an hour. There are 9. And we're gonna take under 2 hours. So, if anybody here is a mathematician, you'll learn something about the amount of dungeons per hour we're about to do. It's a lot.
It's a lot higher than what we just did.
Yeah. But hey, we just freed all of Try's friends. So when I played this game casually, and Try was like, we need to save my friends from the dungeon and, restore some power, I was honestly expecting, 3. I was not expecting, 50. But the answer is, Try has, 50 friends per dungeon. So, Try is a very social. Onion? Lemon? What do you guys think Try is?
I didn't know. I didn't think about them being an onion until you literally mentioned it at the beginning of this run, and now I can't unsee it.
Look, most people try to correct me and say lemon, and I'm just like, look, I'm just trying to make the joke about celery, dude. Onion fairy, because that's kind of...
Tries are like onions.
They have layers.
Yeah. How about a parfait? Everyone loves a parfait.
I don't want onions in my parfait.
we
Unfortunately...
had a run oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, unlike in A Link to the Past, we don't do layer manipulation in this one. Can you carry on?
True. There's no ogre manipulation.
Big sad, big sad.
So that was the most of what I was getting at with that, how many dungeons we're going to do. That was effectively glitchless. There wasn't really a glitch that we did, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to play the floor is lava, and I can let you guess on if that's because I'm about to do a glitch or not.
Yeah, this is the point where the game gets broken and we start doing things that you wouldn't expect.
Yep. So here's Minister Left, who in German is named Sinistra because the German word for left is links, and that would be really confusing. So Sinistra is the Italian word for left, or Latin, one of those two. I had someone come and tell me that it was one of those two, and I don't remember. But, neat. So I'm gonna play the floor is lava like I just said. I don't know why I'm going this way. And then we're going to pause a void out.
We are in a escort mission section here where normally if you're you get too far away from the minister, she'll drag you back in and be like, hey, wait, why did you leave? But only if you touch the perimeter. But we get like we pin ourselves in the soft lock position like Gobbers did in the back in the dungeon. But instead of being able to despawn an echo or something, it just safe respawned us to the last bit of ground that we were touching. That's why we were doing floor is lava. Get outside the perimeter, and now we're free to escape and go and do stuff in the overworld without having to go and watch all of those cutscenes associated to actually finishing this escort mission.
Yeah, and I am taking a little bit of a roundabout path here. The reason that I'm doing that is I'm still avoiding this absolutely massive trigger. The one that would draw me back in that Myth was talking about just a second ago is in the lake. It's like technically on the screen right now. It's that big.
Yeah, it's right at the bottom of the screen here. And yeah, you get pretty close here, but you'll be able to just climb up. We're now in the overworld going and collecting a bunch of warp points. Because of the main glitch of this game being wrong warps, we require warp points to use, and when we do a wrong warp using a specific warp point, it always takes us to the same location. And the ones we're getting are associated to warp points at the ends of each of the dungeons. So that's pretty much what we're going to be doing. We're going to be doing a wrong warp, going to close to the end of a dungeon, finishing it up, leaving, and then going and doing another wrong warp to another dungeon.
Mm-hmm. And while Myth was explaining that, we saw what is my favorite thing to talk about in this run, which is Zelda being the most sane arachnophobe on the planet. She saw a spider and immediately grabbed it, drowned it. I don't know if anyone here is an arachnophobe. I'm not. My brothers both are. So I had to deal with spiders a lot. I never drowned one. I don't think that I would ever do that. But you know, seeing their responses, I think drowning them is a more sane reaction.
So every time the map appears on screen, by the way, you can see that the warp points are all grayed out. At the moment, we're still in the cutscene, like the escort mission, state where they didn't want the player to be able to warp away whilst in that state, so it was disabled. But they used the same thing that is used in mini games, like playing the Acorn mini game or stuff like that, to disable quick travel. And luckily, we can just go and activate one of the Acorn mini games, and that will just let us be able to do warps again, which will be happening in just a short amount of time. We got a couple more to collect. We're almost done with the overworld section of just going and activating all of the warp points. There's a couple more power-ups and things that we want to unlock before we start heading to dungeons.
Yeah, we've got exactly one more that we're actually going to get, and that's going to be up Death Mountain. So we're actually going to climb all the way up. Now, the reason that we're going to do that is not just for that warp point, though we do actually need that one explicit warp point. It kind of sucks. But the other reason is we're going to get my favorite Echo in this run, specifically, which is going to be our main damage source, and that's going to be Larry. Larry, the Lizalfos level 2, who is fantastic, and you guys will see why. First of all, we did the Acorn minigame. I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the only amount of mandatory fun that you guys get this entire run. The rest of it's mandatory dungeoning.
Great spider tech here. We still do use this guy in another dungeon, but any walls or anything, just echo them, bind onto them and let them climb the mountain for you.
Yeah. It's a spider elevator. We could call the tech that, but also it's just kind of using reverse bind, so why would we do that?
Yeah, and this is the last of the warp points that we want. All of the warp points that we got are relevant, and it's all the stuff that we need at this point. But yeah, now here is Larry, the Lizalfos, the really high DPS. Earlier on with the all dungeons route, we used to do the cutscene and everything that we just skipped, the escort section, so that we could go to Dr. Left and upgrade our sword ability, because there's a lot of high health enemies that we have to deal with, and bosses. And we need something to be able to just do a lot of damage very quickly. And going and upgrading the sword was quite slow, so it was a question of, is there an echo that we can use and get a hold of reasonably early that it can do a lot of damage? And Lizalfos level 2 is very early, we got it now, and the DPS is very high. But here's wrong warp. So Globbers is gonna go to the edge of the mysterious forest here, put down a sign right on the transition, and step into it, and then read the sign at the same time. And then as the sign text box appears, and then they close it, they're gonna try and open the map. That is going to... They just got it. They get to both have the map screen open, Zelda gets respawned, and they get control of Zelda whilst the menu is open, and now they can keep the menu open whilst playing with Zelda in the background. And we fast traveled over to the dungeon entrance. They're holding the Echo menu open right now to preserve this menu stacking glitch with it on the foreground. We're going to go into the dungeons. When you're inside of a dungeon, you're able to select dungeon warps. So we are going to we're going to do the wrong warp here. So we mouse over one of the existing warp points, and then we change our screen to the dungeon map and then press A at the same time, and it looks up the ID of the warp point in the dungeon list instead of the overworld list, but associated to the overworld wing thing that we just mouse cursored over. So each individual point in the overworld is going to be tied to some dungeon warp point, and we are at the end of Farron, which is the
wrong dungeon.
Fifth dungeon? we are really far in the game now.
And I did mean that literally when I said the wrong dungeon. This is like an incorrect dungeon to be in right now. Hold on. Pull you.
Yeah, normally we do a strat here using Distance Echo, but you unlock Distance Echo after beating the second dungeon, or whatever dungeon is your second dungeon. The game's very kind and actually kind of gives you rewards based off of how much progress you've done, and like it measured through through tries like level, so it kind of doesn't matter which order we do dungeons in for being able to unlock abilities and stuff.
Okay.
There we go. But Farron is a dungeon that we have to do multiple trips to. Like, we activated a warp point right at literally at the boss door, but we don't have the boss key for it, and we're just gonna have to do some stuff to get the boss key.
Yeah,
and
this actually isn't the next dungeon we'll be completing. We're just kind of going here for a little bit to do a few things. We're going to use our sea urchin here, get some echoes that we want for the rest of the run, and then we're actually going to go to a different dungeon entirely. So, nice quick kill to get this electric piece here, and then we're going to be going... Well, actually, I would want a sign. So we're going to do the halfway boss here, which is going to be Manhandla, who is very, very fun. So this is Manhandle 1. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, spin. I guess I didn't register on that. And boom.
Nice.
So that's the first half of that dungeon done. Like I said, this is the wrong dungeon. We don't even want to be here. The next dungeon we're going to beat is actually Hyrule. So, what do you do when you're in the wrong place? You leave.
Yeah, Farron is a weird dungeon in which there are specific flags of, like, having to progress. Like, we had to go and fight that before being able to go and fight a second version of it later, but it basically ends up being faster to split the dungeon up because we've got a wrong warp that we can do directly to the next version of the fight instead of having to traverse through the entire dungeon to get to that point. But we can just go do other dungeons first.
Yep. So let's go to Hyrule.
So how the game is like intended to be completed in is we had the first dungeon, Southern Ruins, that we did. Then there are two dungeons, Gerudo and Jabal, that you're supposed to do. And then once you do those, you unlock Hyrule Castle. And then after Hyrule Castle, there are three dungeons, which are Farron, Eldin, and Lanayru. And then after that, you get the final dungeon of the game. We're going to do basically none of them in the order that you're supposed to, except for the first and last dungeon.
Mm-hmm. And, ow. That is one of the most dangerous parts of the run, because that can just happen. Not a big deal, it just respawns me right here.
Yeah. Honestly, getting more health as well before Ganon is never a bad thing, and it's a quick respawn. Tactical deaths are completely valid in this category. It gets real tough.
Yeah, you'll see towards the end where I'll have like 6 hearts and I'll be taking 3 hearts per hit. This game, it might be the most recent Zelda, and I know that Zeldas haven't really done this in a long time, but this game is absolutely one where they revisited the idea of Nintendo Hard, where things just do a lot of damage. And you have, like, basically no iframes, and so you get to take damage over and over and over again. That was a very fun casual experience, for sure, for a lot of us. CJ, how much of this game do you remember? You said that you played it.
I played, so my friend, Tomato Anus came to visit. Mm-hmm. And him and Jade, I think Jade is here, were on my couch, and they were like, do you want to like play a game? And I was like, sure. And this game had just come out, so we played it for like a couple hours. So what I do remember was that there was Screwball. I don't know if do y'all participate in the alcohol?
I do.
Do you know
What?
Screwball?
No, I'm not familiar with the game Screwball. What is the game Screwball?
No. The alcohol Screwball.
Oh. I don't drink it.
It is peanut butter whiskey.
Ah.
Interesting.
It is yummy, yummy, yummy. Lots of fun in the tummy. But, hey, I just wanted to remind everyone we are raising money for charity, and we're $60 away from 1,000.
Holy.
And I said we were going to hit 1,000 tonight. So don't make me a liar, folks. If you like Glubbers, if you don't like Glubbers, you know, put in a donation and let me know, and I'll read it.
Yeah, if you actually hate me,
close.
please let me know. Via a $60 donation.
Yes. We will read Glubber insults, $5 a piece.
Exactly.
Exactly. Got to make the money. Yeah. No, we like Glubbers. And Myth. No, nobody can.
We do also
I won't
like
read
Myth.
any insults
Myth
about
great.
Myth. For no money. I won't do it.
We see Myth silently taking notes of the thing that I just did.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? Okay.
Okay, in fairness, I think the only one that had seen me do that live for a while was Galan. Because when I had TGH commentate for me, he did the same thing. I'm like, yeah, dude. That is a thing that you can do.
Yeah, for context, during during this fight, we're trying to use Ganon's Spit and Trident against him because it helps stun him and makes him really vulnerable so we can do damage. Lizalfo's absolutely coming in clutch in this fight. This fight is super tough to be doing at this point in the game. And yeah, the more we can stun Ganon, the better. But I had no idea that when it throws out the Trident, you can just grab and hit him instantly. Normally he teleports and then you drag it over, but that's a great tech.
Yeah, I could tell that you, by the fact that you were silent, that you were either wondering what happened or just kind of like, oh yeah, you can do that, because I was
like, that's so fast.
I was half expecting you to be like, what?
I've lapped this fight so long, and you're doing it completely differently to how I do it, and I was like, oh.
Well, I just remember I had a... Yeah, so it happens really quickly, you have to be really close.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard on the second one. But I remember I had TGH commentating for me once, and his response was very much so, mid-talking about whatever he was talking about, wait, you can do that? And I was like, awesome, I love that reaction. That is an amazing reaction. Love having my commentator be like, wait. Oh, but that's Hyrule. Like I said, after Hyrule, I'm going to take a little bit of a drink of water, but like I said, after Hyrule and a little bit of cutscenes, it's time for the blue dress.
Woo!
Which, thank you all for donating for that. That is fantastic. Sorry, I needed to get my voice to not die, but...
Absolutely.
Y'all.
Everybody hydrate right now, or else.
Hydrate right now, or donate... You can donate $5 and tell me why you hydrated, or donate $5 complaining about why you're not hydrating.
Yeah. I went to a thing recently. I can't say what it was, because it would whatever. But I was with a bunch of younger people, and we were outside for the day, and, people in their 20s, and, it was like, oh, they didn't drink water all day, and they didn't wear sunscreen, and so we're doing an obstacle course and doing relay races and stuff, and the 90-degree heat with the 90-degree humidity, and they're collapsing, and I'm like, now I'm not in shape, I'm a shape. Let me tell you something. CJ didn't go down. No one. The sun didn't win that day, my friends. I won. But yeah, drink water. Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate. Alright, so you might be wondering why we did some dungeons out of order, because, yeah, I said that we needed to go to Farron, and then we're going to come back from Farron, and we're going to have some we're going to go back to Farron in a little bit. We are going to do another dungeon. The main reason that we did that, and the reason that we're doing the dungeons in the order that we're doing in, is because the end of each of these dungeons, we're restoring our magic meter, sword meter, whatever word meter you want to call it. So, whenever we go back to Farron, we want to have max magic, but we also want to have another tool, which is why we're going to do another dungeon here in a second. The next dungeon is going to be my favorite dungeon, which is going to be Jabul Ruins, the water temple. Now, I know that as a kid, I loved the water temple in Ocarina of Time, and I hated Jabu Jabu, and as an adult, I love the water temple in Ocarina of Time, and I hate Jabu Jabu. This is a segue into I was a kid once, everyone here was a kid once. Save the children. I don't know how to make this segue happen. CJ.
Well, we
Are we saving or killing the kids?
Segue.
Oh.
We got $5 from Anonymous that says hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate or dihydrate. That goes for kids too. Save the kids. Hydrate if you're a child.
Yeah, if you're a kid, drink water. If you're not a kid, drink water. Lemonade or onion-aid? Gross. Can't you make onion jam?
What? What is onion jam?
Try as a lemon or an onion.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want Onionade. Onionade has
side
layers.
Profile.
Can I have Dorito aid?
So wait, every time we do a dungeon, we get another chip?
Yeah, we had another Dorito. Rather, every time Try levels up, which is most dungeons, I believe we end with 6 Doritos. Is that right, Myth?
I think it's 5. 6, I think, is in Hundo when you get to do all the upgrades, right? Or is it? Wait, do we have 5 now? No, we got 4. I think we get 5. Yeah, we get 5.
Save the kids, kill the frames. Jesus.
This isn't Super Metro. Oh, I mean, I can kill the frames. I would just my router's right there, but I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. So Papa's okay now? Is this our dad is cool?
Yeah. So we saved.
Story.
Yeah. Story. We saved him from the rift. That's what we did by restoring Hyrule. It also saves him. He is on our side now. This is going to be a long cutscene where he's talking to Minister Left and General Right, who we haven't saved yet, but he's right there, I guess.
Yeah, the timeline doesn't make much sense. Wait, no, this is still the evil one, right? And then we're gonna go save the real one.
Yeah.
And sure.
So here's the priestess robes. This is showing off that we have new amazing outfits that we can use, and I'm going to grab an entirely separate controller, and we're going to have, oh no, the Nintendo Switch 2 wants me to use a controller. Did you guys know that the German word for amiibo is amiibo?
That's good.
The German
amiibo
word
when
for
I go to Germany.
And NFC is also NFC.
Bam. Now, outfit time. We're blue! German word for NFC is NFC. Wasn't that super fast? That was how long it took us to do our incentive. And yes, I did actually have to home menu there. The Switch 2 is weird for some reason. I can't turn off the Switch 2 Pro Controller unless I do that. I don't really know why. Thank you, Nintendo Switch 2.
Thanks, Nintendo.
Yeah. I mean, as something to talk about, hey, Myth, do you want to talk about what Nintendo's been doing to our beloved games?
Yeah, we are getting forced updates.
Yay!
Yeah, we don't know why as well, because it's just random whether or not, hey, by the way, you're not allowed to play this game until you update. But only for some people.
Yeah, so this is played on the Nintendo Switch 2. On 1.0, in the way that we described earlier. There is some weird firmware stuff going on where some people are not able to launch this game, Super Mario Wonder, insert game here. It just asks you to update. And it was an issue that we saw originally with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, but now we're seeing it with these other games that were... with these other games that were working at first. So it's very odd. I'm surprised that worked, I'll be totally real. And, this is why we love that Nintendo is a huge fan of speedrunning, right?
Yeah.
I heard the only thing that they like more than speedrunning is Melee.
They do love Melee, and, fan projects, I hear they're also a huge fan of.
Oh my god, if someone speedran Project M, cancel Christmas.
That person is Nintendo's least favorite person. Is anybody in chat a Project M speedrunner? Or know how to speedrun Project M? Is there like a classic mode?
Shout out to Brian Otto, former developer for Project M, noted speedrunner and GDQ staff member.
Brian Otto is that is news that I did not know about them.
There you go.
Neat. My interactions with Brian Otto are either 1, GDQ related, or 2, the fact that we're both Seattle Mariners fans.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So, shoutouts to the Seattle Mariners.
Shout out to the Seattle Mariners, who want to win 54% of their games and nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing better than we have in 2 decades. Oh, that's
yeah, I mean, your best record since Ichiro.
Exactly.
What do you mean don't start on sports? If you want me to stop talking about sports, donate $5.
Yeah.
F the Mariners. Well, you're an Astros fan.
Every $5, you can get us to shut up about sports for the next 10 minutes.
That's awesome. I'm a Yankee fan, so I really...
Oh, and never mind, we're actually just going to stop talking about sports.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't get to have fun sports conversations.
Yeah, Liverpool's doing great in the Premier League.
Hey, there you go. Hang on. I support Chelsea.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Let's talk about something else.
You're getting shut down by both of us. Like, oh, Yankees, never mind. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, Chelsea, never mind.
I don't care. I like what I like.
And we're proud of you
culture.
for that, CJ. You don't happen to have a basketball team, do you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good, Lakers fan.
Chicago Bulls.
Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So, are you a Seahawks fan too? Is that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really caring about the fact that I'll say I live in Seattle with the other 2-point-whatever million people that live here.
Sure. I mean, I gleamed. I don't know a lot of Mariner transplant fans, but
there aren't many. My mom's one. She lives in New York.
There you go. There you go. Shout out to Randy Johnson and Ichiro for both wearing number 51. I mean it,
Yep.
people. I will keep talking about sports. I don't care if that viewer number goes down to 0. All you had to do was follow the dang train, CJ. Yes. I get that one a lot.
I'm really not surprised that you get that one a lot.
No, yeah, that one comes up basically since I came. Oh, we did get a donation. Hang on.
Oh, I love donations. This is for children who should hydrate.
Kingfisher Games, $10 to say the Astros are the worst thing to happen to baseball since World War II. Jesus. Okay, well, thank you for that $10, Kingfisher Games. The children need to hydrate. I mean, Teddy Williams came back from World War II, so we're kind of good.
Yeah. I just
baseball?
really... The thought that went through my mind, which should be okay to say, is, okay, so it's above Vietnam, but below World War II.
Hate us because they ain't us. Hey, you need a trash can? It's the only thing Yankee fans can jeer about with other teams.
Yeah.
You know, it's like...
Look, I can respect the Yankees for being... I respect Yankees fans for being fans of a team that consistently does well. I don't respect them otherwise.
Well, I mean, I live in New York, so I at least...
You get a pass. Why are you not a Mets fan?
Yeah, I was going to say,
I don't hate
there is
myself.
another team.
Oh, because I don't do drugs.
CJ,
Would
who
you
do
ask
you think? Who do you think my other team is?
The Mets?
Yeah.
Gross.
Fun fact: I like the Mets
Why
for
don't-
exactly one reason. There was a player in like 2007-ish named Mike Piazza. At the time, as you
Yes.
can probably tell, I was a child then. Who I did get saved by being allowed to be an adult. Hashtag save the children. Next. Actually, that's not saving me. That is... No, we're going back. No. Keep them children as long as possible.
Okay. So you were saved by Mike Piazza?
I
What
was
are we
saved by
talking
Mike
about?
Piazza, don't you know? No. When I was the child who got saved, I played MLB whatever, and I saw that there was a player named Mike Pizza.
Oh, okay. So that's why.
That is why I am a
I also
diehard Mets fan in the year 2025. Go
There you
Mets!
I can't do it to myself. I think that people that if you live in New York and you raise your children to be Jets fans and Mets fans, I think I would call CPS on you. Like, I think that's a form of child abuse. Like, I don't understand how you are allowed to have children in your home. Why? Like, the Jets haven't won a championship since Broadway Joe wore pantyhose. Like, he's still doing it, but I mean, when he did it the first time, this is what we're talking about. Also, what's my man here with the helmet? What he's speaking German,
Yeah, we
but-
saved the general.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
so that was General Wright, who does my favorite thing in the world during this run, because at this point in the game, we are supposed to still be restricted and still wearing the hood that is supposed to conceal our identity. It's actually supposed to be a magic hood that's exactly what it does, right? Conceal our identity. So Zelda takes off the hood and shows off that she is in fact Zelda, so that he knows who you are. Now, very in character, General Wright is a bit of a dullard, right? And in this run, where we've already saved Hyrule and progressed the story past that point, we end up taking off a hood that isn't there, and he goes, Zelda! He was absolutely astounded by the fact that we were Zelda. He's not a smart man, and he gets all of my ire. I do not like him. Alright. So you
We're
guys
back
like
in Farron.
Panhandle 1, right?
Who?
Remember the plant thing that we fought earlier?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the second fight.
Hey, there's the RNG in the fact that I had to wait an extra cycle. This fight is fantastic.
Yeah. We need bombs, so we had to delay this fight and come back here a little bit later. And yeah, these heads need to do the attack action to actually get to swallow the bomb to make them vulnerable.
Yup. And there is an ever so slight amount of RNG in which one of the two will actually attack first. And you can lose a few seconds to that. Fantastic.
But there's the boss key, and we've already got the warp point for the dungeon boss, so we just go there and go do it. It's Goma.
Yep. Warning for arachnophobes. You may or may not be set off by this. I mean that very literally. There are two people who watch me do runs who are arachnophobes, and I run this game in Twilight Princess, which also has a spider Goma. One is set off by TP, one is set off by this game. Neither of them are set off by both.
You clarified it was a spider Goma. Isn't Goma a spider?
Nope.
This is like a mechanical Goma as well. It's I never really noticed it before, but like, yeah, it's mechanical.
Oh, absolutely. This thing is just mechanical and weird. I don't really know what this Goma is supposed to be, if not just mechanical spider. But especially with like the electricity gimmick going on here. But apparently it looks like a kind of spider that shows up. Whoa. Okay, never mind. It wasn't going to be that good.
Huh?
Sorry, I got absolutely taken out of the moment by the fact that my game actually targeted the correct thing on the first try.
Yeah.
Apologies for getting so... I don't even know what I was saying before, I'll be totally honest.
We have a hate-hate relationship with the targeting system in this game. It doesn't make any sense. It selects things at random.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. With that many eggs on the ground, targeting the correct thing is... whoa. Like, I shouted out Joash earlier. He is in chat right now, and his only comment is about the targeting. We'll see the targeting system again at the final boss. The final boss isn't hard. CJ, I want you to understand this. The final boss isn't hard. I'm fighting Link and the targeting system.
You're doing Link's crossbow training.
Yes.
We have a scripted fight on the final boss. We figured out that it does the same thing every time if we do the right things. However, the buttons we press don't always result in the same actions because of Link and the targeting.
Oh no.
Oh, we'll see.
And if we strip off the scripts, then things get out of hand.
I love when things get out of hand. Oh, it makes for a more fun showcase when things get out of hand. It also makes me shut up because I need to focus.
Yo, we got another chirp!
Yo?
Real quick, I wanted to say we're $5 away. Count them 5. That's 5 George Washingtons away from the Rift of the Necrodancer incentive, which is to add 15 minutes to the showcase. So if you want to boogie down with illegally Sam I Am, who's a Phillies fan, and that's nobody's fault but his own, 5 doll hairs away.
That's okay.
So a Lincoln, 1 Lincoln, 5 Washingtons, or how many? 8 Kennedys. If you have $50. Does anyone have $50? I have $50.
I don't know. I'm gonna actually grab this. I don't know if anyone has $50. How many $2 bills is that? That's 2.5. Who's on the $2 bill?
Jefferson.
Neat. Anybody have a half Jefferson?
Yeah, rip a Jefferson in half. It's 2 Jeffersons and a Washington. Shout out to Rage Against the Machine, who have one of my favorite lyrics of all time. They put the slave owners on the money.
Yeah.
I can say something like that because I run this shit. But anyways, what we're talking about?
We were talking about illegally Sam, who is not jowly at all, and going to be
Not
running Rift of the
jowly Sam.
Necrodancer. $5 more gets you some extra show, extra fun from him. That thing pops out of existence, and that's what we want to see, right? Not the popping out of existence, but that already happened. We want to see more show. So, $5,
Yeah.
and that will get you some fantastic gameplay for Rift of the Necrodancer, and we're only $45 away from $1,000, which would also be fantastic. Make sure that we get that there. That's only 5 slave owners away.
It's only 50 FDRs.
It's only several slave owners away.
Ah,
No. You know, they said the other day, gotta teach slavery the positives of slavery. So I don't know what that means, but they put them on the money.
That's 500 slave emancipators.
That's true. He did free them. He gets a little bit of a pass. Well, I mean, all right. We are not talking about slavery anymore.
I was going to say, this is kind of getting out of hand.
Slavery is awful. I have a friend who did a one of those like speed runs with the developer showcases.
Great.
And they spent the whole time talking about 9/11.
You know, this is a really good segue. This is a really good segue, you know?
Yeah.
Where were you?
Where were you? When
We could have actually been talking about the really weird stuff that's happening right now in the game. Because this is kind of the point where it's the most critical, this is like a pinching point of the route, why the route is the way that it is. But you know, who cares about that technical stuff, I guess? Instead,
I want to know why the route is the way that it is.
It sets one of the other bosses as like dungeon is being done. That's what happens when we do this.
But this is also why we don't get the 5-minute cutscene after Linearu.
Yes. Story flags and mission complete percentages.
Story flags. Fun stuff. You know what's next? We're going to do Gerudo Sanctum. Gerudo Sanctum is the best dungeon, and that means that it's fantastic to get us away from talking about whatever we were just talking about. So I'm going to get the wrong warp first try instead of dicking around while we explain something, because I'm totally in control of that. Definitely not a tight window. That's different on Switch 2 from what I'm used to. We're going to Gerudo Sanctum.
So to a Bros game. They were playing against the Cubs.
CJ, do you remember the Gerudo dungeon at all, or were you too drunk on Screwball?
I wasn't drunk. Which one is the Gerudo has the horses, right?
It's the desert.
Da 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 da.
Yeah, in Ocarina of Time, yes. In this game, it's
sorry.
the one where I spawn in under the sand.
Oh. Why?
Myth, do you mind explaining why?
Yeah, we're supposed to lower the sand as part of a puzzle to solve, like, the dungeon. And we haven't lowered the sand yet, but the warp point that we entered it is under there. And now, Glovers has to interact with a switch whilst completely not being able to see what's going on and open the boss key chest and get the boss key. And now we can come back up the stairs and go into the boss door whilst, we just, ignore the sand. We're under there. If you jump, you go above the sand, which is cool. But yeah, there's a warp point there because we could just skip the boss. Like, who needs to actually fight it? The dungeon's complete by going through this. And yeah, dungeon's beaten.
So that was what I was having the worst segue imaginable about. By the way, we're still under sand. So what completing Farron at this juncture without having completed Gerudo did was it did two things. One, what we just saw, we wrong warped into the end of the dungeon, and then you guys talked while I took care of movement where I can't see. It's effectively blindfolded movement the whole way, and that is actually solving a puzzle where you're just moving things around. So, great, I just did that. If you were wondering what I did, it was an entire puzzle. Next, the reason that the actual warp away was there is because for some reason, the trigger to actually activate the warp portal to exit Gerudo after the boss is also set by completing Farron. So we did that before we did Gerudo, so that we can leave everybody's favorite mole with glasses and wings alive.
Another weird quirk as well is if you were to beat the boss in Gerudo, it also sets the end portal in Southern Ruins, which we haven't ever done a thing for, but yeah, if you were to skip Southern Ruins, go and do Gerudo, and then go back to Southern Ruins, you don't have to fight the boss there. Unfortunately, you can't do both at the same time. You can't do Farron to skip a Gerudo, because the thing that sets the thing for Southern Ruins is beating the boss in Gerudo, so you can't just leave the Gerudo through the exit and make that work. But that's a bizarre quirk. And yeah, we just managed to skip one of the boss fights without even having to do it. It's great. It's not one of the worst bosses. It's fine, but like if we get to skip a boss, we take it. We take those.
For sure.
Yeah. And it's a
Real
mole
quick.
with glasses, so if anybody gets to live, why not him?
Yeah, there you go. Why would you hit a mole with glass?
Exactly.
Real quick, the question from the chat is, how much time do you get from running on Switch 2 versus the original Switch?
Ooh, okay, that is a really good question. Myth, how much do you know about this? Because I might be one that knows the most.
I think you know more than me. It's all in the loads. But I did play a little bit with it, and I was like, this is busted. This is so fast.
Yeah, so the short of it is, it is very fast. So it's obviously category dependent. The loads are variable per load, obviously. And also just the lag is different. It's hard to give a solid answer because the lag isn't, removed or anything. It's different. Which is annoying for the sake of this is interesting. Annoying for the sake of answering a question like that, because we can't just say, yeah, it's this much faster to run on Switch 2 as easily. It ends up being each category is different in one way or another, and in any percent, we end up saving 30-ish seconds, probably a fair estimate. It's about 20-ish on loads, and then there's variable things throughout where it lags less, but also, like I said, a bit differently. There are places that lag that didn't used to. But even more so than that, most of what it is we're saving time on each of these wrong warps that I'm doing, and all of that yapping was so that I could do it while I'm doing a wrong warp. So each of these wrong warps is a lot of loading going on, and it's, like we said before, menu stacking. That ends up causing a lot more lag overall, and these wrong warps take so long to load. Myth might also want to talk about, RNG loads, which were fun, but they take so long to load, actually, that the time save on these alone is 9-ish seconds per dungeon. So what we ended up timing out was that all dungeons saves on loads alone over a minute. We haven't figured out all of the lag differences quite yet. But yeah, that is what we figured out. It's great. Now that said, I'm at a quarter of a heart.
Elden's an interesting dungeon because it's one of the only dungeons that we actually entered from the front, kind of the intended way, and then we activated one of the we grabbed one of the small keys. There's a cool strat that you can do where you can duplicate the chest to be able to get multiple small keys, but it requires doing a frame perfect like pause after you've opened the chest. But yeah, we needs to. We are right by the boss door right now, and again, just like with the other dungeons, we have to backtrack a little bit to go get the boss key. And the reason why we can't just come here alone is because of that lock right there. We have to have a small key already. There's no way of getting a small key without actually entering the dungeon through the front. But luckily, there's another small key that we can get here quite easily, so it's right by where we need to go, because we're going to go to the left-hand side of this room, and behind these bombable blocks, there's a chest with a small key. And yeah, getting the fire keys there is very important, because we have the Lanayru dungeon, which is going to be the second to last dungeon, and that is an ice dungeon where the boss has to be. We need to use both fire and ice elements on it, and the keys are very useful for being able to do damage to it.
And so this is meant to be like a little puzzle where you're supposed to get the boss key and get out as quickly as possible. You know, you like maneuver your way down, there's a lot of terrain, it's pretty easy to get down. You saw I literally jumped. Now, getting back up is supposed to suck a little bit, but we don't really care. We know exactly the way to get back up, and actually the lava tries to rubber band you here, but you never even really see it. But it actually does stay, like, a certain depth away from you. It's a little bit silly in that way. But CJ, who has referenced Ocarina of Time 2 times during this showcase, and I referenced it once. CJ, what is your favorite boss in Ocarina of Time?
What's the one with the 2 witches?
That is Twin Rova. And honestly, not surprised you said that, but I was really hoping that you would say Volvagia. Because that's Volvagia.
Volvagia.
Thank you for saying Volvagia.
By the way, we're $35 away from 1,000, and we're still $5 away from that showcase for Riff and the Necrodancer, and we got a $10 donation. I don't remember what this was referencing, but it says, "You ate sand?" So there you go. Thank you for the Raising Arizona.
Probably when I was under the sand.
Well, true. You know what? That's thinking with your dipstick.
I do usually think with that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I feel like they bring this guy out all the time. It's like Kraid in Metroid. There's just a ton of Volvagias out there.
Is he in other Zelda games? Other than Ocarina of Time?
What's that
He's
one?
in Hyrule Warriors.
He's in Hyrule Warriors? Wait,
yeah, he's
fantastic.
a guy with a spear. He's called Volg, but like, yeah.
Isn't there discount Volvagia in like Wind Waker? He's in the sand
thinking
pit.
of Discount Goma. That's the time Goma's a centipede.
Oh. Well, you know what? They still reuse.
They do reuse. They do reuse a lot. This is a targeting mechanic moment. Why was it targeting?
Love the targeting. It targeted the guy you hadn't spawned yet.
Yeah. Literally the thing that I was spawning with the button press that came after the target, that's what it was stuck targeting. There's Larry, by the way.
Yeah, so we haven't said already, but the reason why the Lizalfos is so good is because we can just quick respawn him, and it always does this like quick jab the moment that it gets spawned if you're locking onto an enemy, and using that just makes the fight so much faster.
It's so much faster.
Also, this is the level 2 one, so it does more damage, but also it's smarter, and it does more things like jump towards things before attacking if it's out of range.
not even that, it's also, because it's level 2 specifically, it's immune to fire damage, so you're seeing Volvagia attack me, and it's acting as effectively a shield this entire time. It's not going to protect me from that, because the green fire isn't regular fire, as we all know. But, that's Volvagia, that's Fire Temple, or, sorry, Elden Temple, and, this leads us into everyone's favorite part of the run. This is the part of the run where I get up and, go start reading Goodnight Moon. I'm not gonna do that because I think that's copywritten.
I would. I don't care.
I'm not gonna go read Goodnight.
well, you shouldn't have offered it then.
Unless someone donates $35 by the end of Lanayru Temple, which is next. If you do that, I will read Goodnight Moon in the final dungeon.
Goodnight Moon. Goodnight cow jumping over the moon. That's me doing Goodnight Moon as Christopher Walken.
Wow, good night, Moon. Sorry, that was...
Wow! Good night, Moon! What was that? Oh my goodness.
I was really nasally, like, okay, sorry. Am I not supposed to talk like this?
But yeah, the reason that I do that is we have plenty of time for donations, so what brand of dumb stuff do you want to talk about this time? I legitimately don't have my hands on the controller. We'll be like this for a few minutes. What's up, CJ?
Just nothing much. My favorite hot dog shop started taking credit cards.
Oh, that's
that was
cool.
significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of hot dog? Have you ever had a Seattle dog?
No, I've never been to Seattle.
Oh my god. If you ever come to Seattle, Seattle dogs are amazing. Have you ever had cream cheese on a hot dog?
What are you talking about? That's a thing that y'all do?
Yeah. No, Google it. It's called a Seattle dog.
All right. I don't know that
This is probably going to disgust you. I usually get mushrooms, cream cheese, relish, and sauerkraut with usually a kind of mustard.
I think y'all fucked it up. That's not a hot dog anymore. Yeah, like we had, who is it this morning? Sable Dragon Rook this morning was like, I like to eat cold hot dogs that have cheese in the middle. And I'm like, that's fucked up.
What?
I think what you said is more fucked up somehow. I'm standing by that.
Fair. If you were about to say something.
Yeah, little known fact about me, I'm part Brazilian, and we do some horrifying things to hot dogs down there.
Okay.
It involves mashed potatoes.
You put mashed potatoes on a hot dog?
That's not that bad.
With crushed up potato chips. I think this is more of a me thing, but I also put barbecue sauce and mayo.
Okay. I am so disappointed in everybody. If I could turn this car around, I would. Mayonnaise?
You've never had mayo on a hot dog?
Mayo.
Yeah.
I'm bewildered.
Mayo and
I'm
relish
not
are
judging.
like my two... That's like my basic hot dog is mayo and relish. That's it.
What are you on about? Mayo and relish?
What do you put on a hot dog, CJ?
Mustard. Ketchup. You put it in the dirty waters.
I would like to note that this did get us through the 4 minutes of unskippable cutscene.
There you go.
We're in
just
more.
Hanging out here. Oh wow. There's more?
We're almost done with cutscenes for the run. This is the longest segment of cutscene in the run.
This category skips most cutscenes.
Yeah.
This game is very cutscene heavy.
This cutscene has the lowest gameplay to cutscene ratio. Or sorry, cutscene to gameplay ratio. So the least amount of cutscenes out of any category that isn't 100%.
Yeah.
Where 100% watches basically all of the cutscenes, of course, but also does everything. Yeah, that
How
would have
long
been
is 100%?
Oh, it would have been a fantastic incentive to upgrade to 100%. It would have only added 6 hours to the estimate.
Jesus!
Yeah. It's not a fast run, because again, having to watch every single cutscene. A glitchless is 4 hours. And yeah. It's I think when TGH timed it, about an hour and 50 minutes of it is gameplay.
Yeah, it somehow beat Ocarina of Time glitchless in having the most cutscene. You know that in Ocarina of Time glitchless, that is a 3.5 hour run, right? 3 hours 35-ish minutes for record. The amount of gameplay that the amount of cutscene that there is in that is an hour and 37 minutes. So,
Really?
Yep.
Jesus.
My favorite fact to mention about that, I've run that game. Like I said, I've run a lot of Zelda games. Ocarina of Time's one of them. Go figure. Frankly, you can probably be better off asking which ones I haven't tried to run. But
What games haven't you tried to run?
the ones on CDI.
Zelda's Adventure, the prequel to this game?
Yeah, the prequel to this game.
Have you seen a run of those games? Every
had it
screen
in the
transition is like 10 seconds of just waiting for it to load. It is so horrible.
Chef's kiss.
Have you seen the price of those games?
Yeah, that's something else. I don't want to own a Philips CDI, but if I did, I don't think I could.
Oh yeah, I have a friend that owns a CDI. By the way, we just picked up that was glitchless technically. They just kind of that's fine. They just kind of gave us the ability to target that rock where we're supposed to solve a puzzle and thaw the room so that we can go and move the rock. They kind of just forgot to make us not able to target the rock until it's been thawed.
Shoutouts to the laws of physics that allow water to stay unfrozen underneath ice.
Yep. Shoutouts to physics.
Yeah. Coming in clutch, making sure we don't lose time in our speedrun.
Me when basically any movement tech, because that is also usually the game physics. But real physics here.
Also, Ice Dungeon with, like, not awful ice physics.
Yes. You do slip and slide, and it does suck, but it's not as bad as most games. Oh my god, but we will actually hate them here in a second. This dungeon thematically is probably one of my more favorite, because it's all hot and cold, and interacting with that. It's a really cool concept. That said, I don't like watching this cutscene 9 times in glitchless.
Yeah.
By the way, we are going to watch that exact cutscene again right now.
It was definitely an interesting puzzle here, because you've been playing throughout the entire dungeon where you're thinking about each room as, like, being in 2 states of being, like, is everything frozen or is everything melted? But then, like, you get to this point and, you realize that, we want it to be frozen, but we need to not have all the spikes and stuff, so you need to melt everything and then refreeze everything. Nice, interesting twist to the format here.
All right, now we're going into the worst boss.
Yeah, this guy can go away. I have worse words to say about him. Oh, nice. Yeah, ideally we want to be using Ignazol there so that when he's doing his slam attack, he lands on the Ignazol, and Ignazol, as we talked about, Igna Chad does loads of damage. But the slam attack is RNG, semi-scripted if we're doing like the right movement, but it can be like really awkward. That's why we've got the fire keys though as a backup and make it nice and consistent. And our boy Larry, making quick work of him as well. That's the first of the 3 phases. The first one was ice. This one is going to be fire. This is why we went in earlier in the dungeon to go to one of those side rooms and get an ice keys. It was just for this fight. Just for this phase of the fight. In the final phase, it is going to mix up by using both elements, so we'll have to be switching between the different elements during it.
Ideally not.
Yeah, like the ideal fight is he doesn't change it at all, and we just get to make him vulnerable without having him changed what element he is.
It's giving us a little bit of unfortunate RNG where I'm having to dodge and not really be able to attack him, because I can't really do both very well with it stopping my momentum basically every time.
Yeah.
We're not having the worst fight either. That I've only taken half a heart of damage. The worst kinds of fights, I would have died by now.
Yeah, like this fight gets real bad with like the RNG of like where the things spawn on the ground, what actions it decides to do. Some of the actions it does in this like are really awful and we don't want to happen.
Yeah, so like when it does this, where it's doing fire on ice.
Yeah,
this is
the last one is. Yeah, the and ice physics make it more difficult to be able to control Zelda during this fight.
But you see here, it's not the ice helmet, but it did use a fire attack on a fire key, so I kind of just got to sit there at least. It's not fast, so it's not good RNG, but it's no risk to me. Which is very nice.
You just don't want to die. A death at the end of this guy, he's called Scorchill, is it's brutal because it's such a long fight as well. And we're almost done. This is the just a couple more. Like there we go. Last hit on him, and he's down. And this is the second to last dungeon. We've got one more.
Yeah, we've got one more. If you guys want to hear me read Goodnight Moon, you have right now to do it. Do it right now.
Do it right now.
$35 gets us to $1,000. Putting that towards the Rift of the Necrodancer thing will get us that. There's only $5 left still on that, correct, CJ?
That is correct. Yeah, only 5 doll hairs away.
Yeah, so if you guys have any small children who need saving from their dolls, go and pull out 5 of their hairs.
Glad we speak the same language.
I, too, speak English that can't be understood by non-native English speakers.
You know, it's kind of like my superpower.
I am proud of you for that superpower. I don't know that I envy you for it, though.
Not all heroes wear capes. It's okay.
This hero wears denim.
You know what? Do you know what Mario's favorite pants are?
Is the answer not just overalls? This is gonna be a pun somehow, I feel like.
Denim, denim, denim. Denim, denim, denim.
Right.
Denim, denim, denim.
So this has been a great showcase, by the way. I'm glad that there was no more dungeons after that.
Damn, I ruined it. Or you ruined it now.
No, but we do have probably the most fun part of the game, but also the part that requires... Yeah, by far the part that requires the most focus from me. So, Myth, we'll get to it here in a little bit. We have a few points that we're going to be talking about. Final _ dungeon is skip after skip after skip. It's fantastic. But first we get an intermission and we get to see everybody's favorite character. I'm actually definitely gonna heal. I'm not doing PB attempts, I'm absolutely healing.
I was noticing a lot of the heart container skips. Well, I say a lot. I saw a heart container skipped earlier in the run. I was like, that's brave.
Yeah, the thing that I do differently than I think literally everyone, maybe mostly everyone, is when I do PB attempts for this, I do 4 hearts. 5 if I get unlucky.
I can see it. I die too many times on Scorch Hill to ever skip a container before this.
4 hearts is nice because it makes you 3 shots in most places, 2 shots in the worst places, and you shouldn't be getting hit at all. But, that's my personal ethos. I do that when I'm trying to get a personal best. Not when I'm trying to showcase things. I think I have 6 hearts right now? Maybe 7? It's for safety, so that we can see things like Ponde. Look at him. Look at him. He's so joyous. He says, "Grow ho ho."
You have 7. Also, yeah, we were supposed to have a really long cutscene there because we've done all of the 3 dungeons to start the final section of the game, and where like Echo Zelda's supposed to appear, and we get sent back to Hyrule Castle. But because of story flags, we stopped that cutscene from playing and can just run warp directly to the final dungeon now.
Yeah, so the thing that we didn't talk about during the post-Lanayru cutscenes was effectively the reason there were so many cutscenes playing there at once. Hold on while I get this. There we go. The thing that was happening there was basically we were first triggering the end flag for the Farron story progression, and then immediately after it, it was the first time we had been to Farron. So we then triggered the starts of the progression. So doing the end and then the start allows us to get the quest completion status, but unsets the end flag status, which is really a weird niche to like hone in on. But because of that, we don't fulfill a requirement that plays at a 5-minute long cutscene there. So doing the dungeons in this order saves 5 minutes by routing. Here's a link.
So we also just wrong warped into this dungeon using warp points in this dungeon. And if you've played this dungeon, there aren't warp points in this dungeon. These are completely unintentional. And when we do that, we enter the dungeon not through the typical means. And what is normally supposed to happen when we enter the dungeon is that we lose some of our abilities. We shouldn't be able to use sword form in this dungeon or be able to save the game and other things like that. None of those things run that are supposed to set those. So now we can use the sword form to do nice skips like this. We got some spots we can stand at where these blobs only spawn the enemies if they touch Zelda, and we stand in the right spot and they'll just circle around us, and then we can just use the sword to kill them before they spawn the enemy. That last one is a Lionel and will absolutely own us. We can't fight it. And then this is going to be a softlock skip. Link isn't in this room right now, and as soon as we hit the switch, it begins a cutscene that won't continue until Link walks into a position. If we activate the cutscene, we are softlocked, and that just happens. So we have to just force close the game. And luckily, there's already an autosave that happens in this room, but we'll load back in and try and load it. We need to pause the frame the switch gets activated, and then save. And luckily, when we're still able to save the frame that the switch gets hit, and it sets the flag for the doors to open, and we load back into our file, and the cutscene won't have to play, and the doors will just be open, and we'll be able to continue. But yeah, this is extremely tight, so it normally takes a lot of retries.
Absolutely the hardest trick in the run. There are a number of ways to do it. This is technically the way that this category is supposed to do it, where I use distance echo. If it takes more than a couple of tries, I'll go do the way that I'm a little bit more comfortable with, which is a little bit slower. Alright, that is the 3 that... What? Not my Nintendo Switch 2 having, what? What just happened?
Was it not a turbo haywire
That
thing?
was the home button, which I can't turbo.
Oh, huh?
Alright, I've been taken out of the moment. We're just gonna do it this way. I say as though this is like a guaranteed thing. This is still hitting a,
Oh, I find this much more consistent.
And
There we go. Nice.
It's
It's a nice, real obvious visual cue there with the thing lighting up.
Yep. And that one's more consistent because it's... Otherwise, it's kind of based on the geometry of how the Ignazol is glancing off of the, Boyo.
This is a fun room.
This is a fun room.
Yeah, that flower has so much health. It's one of the highest health enemies we see that isn't a boss. Like, it rivals bosses for health, but luckily, with Zelda's sword form, the we get a 2 times multiplier of with damage, so we can kill it a lot faster by using sword form there.
Yep. And that room has some fantastic names that we never share on showcases. The thing that I will say is, note I had full health before that.
Yeah. Also, but Link kind of behaved himself a bit there. Like, normally Link gets owned by the Freezer on the other side, but Link actually handled himself and dealt with all the things on his side quickly.
So, something that I will actually point you to, Myth, that you might have missed at one point, is how I do that. What am I doing? Larry.
You put the Ignazol over there at the start,
in
right?
AD, I put the fire keys and targeted it.
Oh, the fire keys and the... okay.
So, I'm doing that, and what happened is you kind of get messed up sometimes on your side. That's why I took so much damage. But there's some very specific movement you can do to set that down and dodge everything in your room.
Nice.
So then you can use that for your own stuff and have just a lot easier of a time. It ends up being more consistent because you end up not dealing with Link as much, but you sacrifice it for the amount of damage that you will take.
We like consistency. I like consistency. I'm so used to the any percent strat with the, like, we've got a scripted way of, like, activating sword form and then knocking the Tektite into everything and then be able to just do a set fight up with to kill everything on your side.
Yeah, it's a variant of the exact same idea. It's a little cool thing that is also my strat, so...
We've got the Null fight now. This is Null 1. Null 1 is pretty chill. It's nothing too crazy. It's just going to pull each arm, and it's effectively completely scripted. We know exactly where everything's going to spawn at the right times. The only thing we're really fighting here is Link's AI going where he's supposed to be, and the targeting system targeting what we want to target.
Yep, which, as you'll see, I am grabbing Link whenever it's convenient for me to, because he gets a child leash. Hashtag save the children. Because he does not get to be on his own. He will do some weird stuff. You will see the points where I can't really grab him, and he will do some weird stuff. That's not right now, but he was kind of just jumping instead of dealing with the arm that was ready to be destroyed. But he gets the child leash instead of jumping around and messing me up.
He is a overexcited toddler. He jumps around way too much.
Alright, now here is the part where every one of us who speedruns this game went, oh my god, this is so much better!
Yeah.
This is the laggiest fight on the Switch One.
There is a ridiculous amount of lag, and
So
how much faster is this? Because this is like almost
This is
exactly
like 8
1
seconds.
minute on Switch One.
It's like 8 seconds!
Oh my!
It's actually like... I thought it would be like double-digit seconds. It was that much. It wasn't like... It didn't end up being that. But it's ridiculous. All we're doing is... This is an auto-scroller. What's happening is basically Null in Phase 2 went, haha! She can't breathe! I'll spawn water! Oh no! I can't breathe! And literally is reducing its own health down to 1 there. And we just follow it. So then
Yeah,
we
that was
go
like
into phase
50
3.
seconds instead of a minute.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And now is Null 3. This is the true final boss, an actual worthy challenge. And yeah, we want to be positioning ourselves very precisely here, making sure that Zelda is pulling the hands exactly to the right point so that Link kills it at the right timing, and when all's good, things are going to spawn exactly how we want them to. Put down some Ignizols to bait the Dark Nuts instead of getting hit by them, but the Dark Nuts do just try and target you over the Ignizols. That shadow on the ground, if it grabs you, we get stuck in jail for ages. It is awful, so we like run over it and bait it. And that is the first like phase of Null 3. And again, we're going to do the same thing. Really important to note is that it spawns bosses only when the arms that are holding onto tries do that action. Null will randomly select one of its arms to do an action, and it's normally always going to be one of the ones on the back. So we try and kill them as quickly as possible. And you got the thing.
I did get the thing.
If you...
Yeah.
Oh, please say it auto-saved. It had to, right? No! It didn't auto-save.
That is unfortunate. Okay. Alright. Less joking time. Hold on.
Auto-saves in like the Dark Nut. Okay, the auto-save comes in so randomly. It's based off of clock time, but... Yeah.
Alright, I was already very quiet during this fight, Myth.
Yeah.
Talk about whatever you want. I gotta lock in. That is a very unfortunate death.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. With if we had an autosave, all we would do is go back to the beginning of Null 3, but without that autosave, the previous save was before the entire set of Null fights, so yeah, we've got a few minutes here of going through these like boss fights again before we get back to the final phase. And yeah, like the final phase of Null is just that brutal.
So I'm doing a little bit different strats. Before I said, I'm going to put Link on his child leash here. That's a bit more consistent. The problem with that is it sets up some really weird positioning, and it can kind of make things go really awkward for me. So to be a little bit more optimal, I am avoiding that, and I am doing more correct things. We are not doing as safe of strats, but we are doing faster strats. Now, what I'm really doing here is padding for time for more donations. You guys still haven't hit that. Come on, guys. 5 doll hairs gets you exactly what we want to see. We want to see extra levels from illegally Sam the Jowled Sam. Come on. You guys can get that in. You don't have that much longer left.
He's so thin.
He really is. See, I'm just being generous and giving you guys more time so that you can get that in there so you can see that. That's really why I died there. I am a master planner. I wouldn't have died there had I not been looking at the donations and seeing that Sam who really wants to do all of these runs, that hit there slows me down, because I see that whoever's currently donating is lagging. Come on.
So, we just got $30 from Unfortnite that said, I can't believe it didn't autosave. And it didn't go to Necrodancer. It went to Max Goof Cosplay. So, so we are $5 away from both hitting $1,000 and unlocking the extra levels. You're torturing Glubbers here.
You really are. Look,
Like,
all I'm going to say...
We've been asking for $5. The man's been very reasonable.
All I'm going to say is clearly y'all haven't seen my GDQ run, where I literally stopped the run and said, come on guys, it's like $50. I am not above that.
He will kill himself again.
I will.
I believe...
You believe in me killing myself again?
No, I believe it's someone donating $5 so you don't have to.
Oh, fair enough. I might die to the Dark Nuts with this RNG.
Yeah, we want to get the Dark Nuts to not bully Link as much. Yeah, okay, we got it. Nice. Yeah. Let's get these arms at the back killed as quickly as possible, but not too quickly, because if Null spawns the next wave of bosses in and you kill all of the boss spawning arms, you get what happened, which was Null doesn't go and hide away during the boss wave, because it's like, oh, I've got none of the boss spawning things, I'm in my final stage of yeah. And in that state, Null is running around doing attacks whilst you're also trying to dodge bosses, and it's not fun.
Yeah. So what had actually happened there was Link had been our favorite person in the world and attacked the wrong hand in the phase prior, which then led to Null being in the room, and Null attacked my Echo that I was using to protect myself, and then one of the Scorchills came in and killed me. Which is a fantastic chain of events!
Yeah. I love that we basically never saw this thing with Null, sticking around after he pulled all of his arms off until months after people, like, were doing runs in, like, any percent and stuff like that. It was, like, in your world record run for any percent, which stood up until we got, like, Switch 2.
Where I got Ganon despawn, yeah. That was interesting. I thought I was going to get bodied there.
And now it seems to just happen all the time.
Well, so that's a little bit different. What happened there was Null staying in the field. What happened in my run was Ganon... We had the 6 Ganons, and Ganons
they didn't spawn.
Despawned.
Yeah.
Which is more of an interaction if that same condition is met on a higher level of precision. You end up getting... By the way, time's about to happen.
That was a good Null 3. And we got time at the end of this mashing section.
Damn.
Time.
There we go.
GG's.
We're still not there, guys!
Y'all are torturing this poor man.
Come on!
He's out here doing it for y'all.
Who donated $30 for the wrong thing? Well, they donated what they wanted to see. That's not the wrong thing. But come on!
They really out here playing with your emotions.
They're playing with my emotions more than the game was there.
Wow. Well, how did you feel like the run went? I thought this was a great time personally.
Oh, I always love doing showcases and just sitting back, having a fun time, having some goofs and gaffs. The run itself.
And you bring up slavery and 9/11.
Yeah, you bring.
Yep. Yep.
I can check that off my list of talking about slavery mid-showcase. I can't wait to see what we talk about on Sunday.
Well,
Well, yeah.
well, it'll be hard to top.
I think that this run went just fine. You know, this is a run that's rather new. The game's kind of it's volatile, but it's not the most difficult in a lot of ways, and that can kind of put you in a false sense of security, which I find happens a lot during showcases. But as a segue, that's going to be it for me today. This was The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, all dungeons. It's a fantastic run. You guys should absolutely check it out. There are, like I said, like 7 of us, so if you go in the Discord and you're interested, Myth and I will both be there, and let's be real, the people answering the questions, there's about an 80% chance one of us too. But that's it for me for Echoes of Wisdom. If you guys want to see even more Zelda, because this is also wrapping up the little mini Zelda block that we had with Glan's run, followed by my run that I just did, then tune in on Sunday at, I don't know what time you guys prefer me to say this in, so I'm going to say 4:45 Pacific time, because that's my time, where I will be doing a game that I have run for half a decade, which is going to be The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This game, where I will be figuring out this weekend if I can show off the new thing, because God, it sucks.
And that is a great teaser. Speaking of teasers, we got $5.
Thank you.
From Animated Elf. I was gonna save this for during TP, but I guess I'll do it now. And that puts us at $1,000 and unlocks the Rift of the Necrodancer showcase. You did it. We did it.
Thank you, Elf.
It's all worth it. Yes. Alrighty. Thank you so much, both Glubbers and Myth, for being here. We really appreciate it. This was a great run. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause. We're going to go pay the bills, keep the lights on, and when we come back, we'll be getting ready for our next run, which is that Rift of the Necrodancer showcase that you wanted to see. So don't go touching that dial. We'll be right back.